Over the last 25 years working with patients who react to foods, I've learned that there are many different types of food reactions, even good food reactions, and that some reactions serve a greater purpose and can actually be very helpful. I'm Dr. Stephen Wangen, the founder and medical director of the IBS Treatment Center, and right about now you're probably wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Your gut is an ecosystem teeming with all kinds of bacteria and yeast and other things, and we generally call it a microbiome. When you eat something, things may feel bad, but sometimes when the environment in an ecosystem is so messed up, you have to pretty much clear things out and start over. And doing so isn't always an easy or pleasant experience, even if it results in a much better situation in the end. There are lots of examples of this in life. Take, for example, when an ecosystem needs a forest fire to renew it, you have to renew the whole environment and allow new things to grow. And the fire is no fun, not for the rest of us, but it can renew the environment and allows new things to flourish, and often the environment is much healthier for it in the long run. The same sort of thing often happens in your gut. And this is what I mean by a good food reaction. A bad food reaction is when your immune system is reacting to a food and that reaction is causing inflammation and damage. Those are bad food reactions and you need to avoid those foods. But a good food reaction is one where the food itself is literally changing the ecosystem in your gut. It's a necessary change, but it's not always a comfortable one or a fun one. And this is counter to everything you've been taught about healthcare, right? Because you expect to get treated and to get immediate results, or to at least mostly move forward, not backward in your health. But a lot of positive things we do require pain and suffering. You can't become, for example, more fit or a better athlete and change your physique without challenging yourself and experiencing discomfort. Right? You can't run a marathon without all this happening. It's impossible. Now, the same kind of thing goes for many other aspects of your health. Like, you often can't change the ecosystem in your digestive tract without experiencing some discomfort. There's just no way around it. That's what I've found over the years. So how do you know when this is happening, when it's a good food reaction or a bad reaction? And that's the tricky part, because it's difficult to base it on your symptoms, because either reaction can cause a lot of different symptoms. And it really helps to have a doctor who understands this, can guide you through it. But those doctors are hard to come by. Now, one tool that will often help you differentiate these types of reactions are food antibody test results. Right? If you have an antibody reaction, that is generally classified as a bad reaction, and you probably should be avoiding that food because you are having an immune response to that food, and that's not natural. But if you have a reaction to a food that isn't generating an immune response, is it a good reaction? Well, sometimes. For example, if it's sugar, then it's always bad. Sugar's not good for any ecosystem anywhere, right? And certainly not in your gut. But if it's, for example, garlic, then maybe it's a good reaction. And I've had a lot of patients over the years tell me they had reactions to garlic. And sometimes they have antibody reactions to those, but generally not. So you can have an immune reaction to garlic, and that would mean you should avoid it. But garlic also has potent antibacterial and antifungal properties. And when you eat garlic, you are often literally killing off lots of bad guys in your gut. And this is not really a food reaction, although it feels like it. It's actually a microbial reaction, meaning the bacteria and the yeast are reacting to your food. In this case, the garlic. Now, the best way I could think of describing this is that it's a bit like when you neutralize an acid with a base. And if you think back to basic chemistry, it's a dramatic process, right? When you combine an acid and a base, you get a lot of gas and bubbling and heat, and it's rather violent in its reaction, but it results in a neutralized and healthier environment. Now, the process of a renewal in your gut, killing off these bad guys, can be like this. and it does not always feel good. And many people will avoid garlic because of it. And unfortunately, they may be avoiding the thing that they actually need to be eating. And if they stick with it, the discomfort will improve after a few days. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks or so, but they will almost always come out the other end feeling much, much better than they did before they started the garlic treatment. And at this point, they can eat garlic with no more consequences because they have literally changed the ecosystem in their gut. Nothing else has happened. It's not like their immune system changed. It's the ecosystem that changed because it wasn't truly a reaction of your body to the food. It was the ecosystem's reaction. So now they can eat it because the ecosystem is much, much better. Now, also on the plus side, the ecosystem in your digestive tract has everything to do with how you digest and break down all your food. So that's key to digestion is it's those bacteria and what's going on in there. They break down your foods, not just enzymes and stomach acid. Now, foods that originally did not generate an immune reaction, right, this antibody response, but still were problematic to eat, because that often happens with people who have a messed up microbiome. They're often that way because the ecosystem in the gut was a mess. Now, fixing that will often allow those people to enjoy those foods with no problems at all. And that's another layer of the complex world of bad food reactions and good food reactions. Now, if you found all this valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more fascinating conversation about your health. And if you've got questions about all this, please let me know below. Thanks for watching.